We better tell everyone that we're live. It's Louis. Hi, it's Louis. Let's tell everyone. Right, we're live. Hi guys, Louis in the UK. How we going? Right, I need to tell you guys, we're live. We're live, yeah. Let's give you guys a chance to join us. I'm just telling everyone. Let's, Teresa, how are you? Okay, right, so we got Teresa. Sorry guys, I'm just... Right, so let's see if we can get the link. How can we get the link? Let's see if we can put a link onto our 24-hour, 24/7. We've got Jane, we've got Stacy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So it is, what time is it? It's 10 minutes past 9. Right, I'm just trying to get everything up. Right, let me just see if I can share the link of our live. Let me just see if I can share the link of our live. I'm talking to myself. Let me just see if I can share the link. Copy. Then, right, let's see if we can work out how to do this. Okay. Sorry, guys. Right, okay. I think I've told everyone. All right, yeah. Louis in the UK. Hi, guys. Hi, welcome. So I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that Mindi Miller has joined us again. Obviously, Elvis's ex-girlfriend, but to me, one of the few ex-girlfriends that hasn't bad-mouthed Elvis and belittled him and made him sound silly and put him down because he took prescribed medication. Someone, Mindi Miller, proud of Elvis's spirituality, the fact that Elvis had a spiritual side. Some people are embarrassed of being spiritual. There's no need to be. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be spiritual. Elvis, how can I explain it to you guys? When Larry Geller entered Elvis's life, obviously we know he was his hairdresser. Larry had a partner and they ran the first men's hairdressing salon that was massively successful. And they were cutting hair of the most famous people. People like Kirk Douglas, Ronald Reagan, those types. And Larry was invited to go and cut Elvis's hair once. The rest is history, guys. The rest is history. We're going to look it up in a second. So I thought, because Mindi Miller showed us some respect, and we love Mindi Miller, I thought, let's dedicate some of this live stream to Mindi. And do you know what? Do you know how much respect it shows us, guys? Let me just get on back onto the chat. How much it respects. This is what I like about the fact that Mindy Miller, Elvis's ex-girlfriend, how much it means to me and to you guys. It means everything. And I'll tell you why, because she knows we care. We, defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. We're here for Elvis, aren't we? We're here for Lisa Marie. We're here for Elvis's bloodline, for the twins, for Riley, for Gladys. Isn't that why we're here? Because we are fed up with the rubbish that is said about Elvis. And then whenever I listen to beautiful interviews from Mindy Miller, who, by the way, is still stunning, yeah, still a beautiful lady, I'm waiting, almost waiting for her to say something negative, because I'm like, I listen to Mindy, and I did watch Mindy's interview with Shauna, yeah, which was great, a great interview. And the thing that I sensed from Mindy, and I have watched many other interviews, many others about Mindy, is that she didn't falter. She didn't falter. She was true to the last word. Now, that interview she did on Shauna's show was very long, guys. It was like an hour and a half. And I tell you now, that woman could look you in the eyes and speak softly and gently and beautifully about Elvis on so many different points of view, different subjects. And to the last breath of that conversation, the last word, she didn't say one bad thing about him. How many people, how many ex-girlfriends? Seriously, guys, I mean this. And I've watched a lot of Mindy Miller's interviews. How many ex-girlfriends can you honestly say that from beginning to end, they don't say something negative about Elvis? How many? None. None. I've heard Linda Thompson. I do like Linda Thompson. She seems lovely. But you go back through her interviews, right back to the 80s, and every now and then she will bring up some of the things that we don't really like to hear. I'm not trying to put down Linda Thompson. I love Linda Thompson. She's great. Mindy, she doesn't bring it up. Doesn't bring it up. If the subject arises, she handles it with respect. I can't say that's true of everyone, of all the ex-girlfriends. I love Ginger Alden. I think she's great. Still, sometimes these points are brought up, and I'm not always pleased what is said. But with Mindy, she gets a thumbs up from me. I'm going to play a few Mindy clips. I haven't even watched them myself. I'm just going to play them, see what we think. Let's just read your comments. So I wasn't even going to do a live today. I've had a mixed day, quite a complicated day. I definitely had it in mind. I was going to talk about Todd Slaughter, which I will play that video, but not yet. Do any of you guys know who Todd Slaughter is? Do any of you know? Let's just see your responses, guys. Teresa, she sure is. I'm going to show you how beautiful she is in a minute. It's not, look, I'm just being respectful. I've always thought Ginger speaks highly of Elvis and kindly about Elvis, and the way she portrays Elvis, I like it. Even Linda Thompson, you get her and listen to her properly. She says nice things about Elvis, beautiful things about Elvis. That's good enough for me, guys. Every now and then we do hear a few little things that I'd rather not mention, but overall, Linda and Ginger say lovely things about Elvis. But Mindy, she does it in a different way. Mindy has a very special way of talking about Elvis. Like, she really gets him. She gets his heart, his soul, his religious side, his spiritual side. She understands his love of reading, but she really, really understands it. And I think they would read together, even sing together, because Mindi has a beautiful singing voice. So, and don't forget, Mindi, she wasn't a sponger. She had her own career. She had her own income, her own money. She wasn't there to use Elvis. Even refusing the car when he offered to buy her a car because she was driving an old bashed up car that she didn't really need because she was going to be going away soon. Elvis offered to buy her a brand new beautiful car, and she said no. She said no. Doesn't that say it all? I've even watched the video about how they met. Mindi felt, she drove past Elvis once, and she was with a friend. She was very young, and Mindi felt when Elvis's car went past her, she felt his energy. I don't know if Mindi's watching now. I hope she is, but she's probably not. She felt his energy. Oh, she felt it. What's the word for someone that can feel your energy? Is it empathic? Empathy? I'm not sure what the word is. And she knew one day they would meet. She knew they would meet one day. And of course, they did. They did. So, we've had Mindi join us tonight. Let me just get the chat up. So, at the moment, we are dedicating tonight to Mindi's conversation that she had with us, because we're proud, guys. I didn't catch all of it. Now, the reason I picked up that Mindi had joined us is because I think Elaine noticed that she had read one of our comments. Elaine, is that correct? And Elaine, I think, noticed the comment. Let me go back to the beginning, guys. Elaine noticed the comment and just put a like on it, I think. Is that right, Elaine? Yes. Now, so thank you, Elaine. So I thought, oh, Mindi must be on. Now, I know that Mindi has joined us before. She's friends on our Facebook. She's friends on my personal channel, which I'm very grateful for. So let me just see where she says it. I think, yeah. So Elaine, right? Elaine, do you mind if I go through this conversation? And we're going to go through the conversation, then we're going to play some Mindi videos, if you don't mind. Is that okay, Elaine? And Mindi, in case you're watching, you're probably not, but if you are, I'm going to go through the conversation that these guys had with you, which means a lot to all of us. And then I'm going to play some clips of Mindi, and I've got a little link here of, we're going to see how they met, how her and Elvis met. Okay, thank you. So Mindi puts a little heart, and how clear does this show you? Let's have a look. I know that the lighting in here isn't great. You can see that just about. Hi, Mrs. G. Let's just quickly say hello to everyone. Hi, Rosalind. Hi, Ashley. Obviously, hi, Elaine. Hi, Helen. Hi, Jane. Hi, Cherie. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Ginger. Hi, David. Let me just make sure. Hi, Natalie. Let's make Stacy. Is Deborah not on? I'm surprised Deborah's not on. Okay, I think that's everyone. I'm sure more of you are going to join. Hi, Sandra. If I've missed anyone, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Right. I am trying to get everyone in. Hi, Gio. Hi, Helen. Right. I've got you all in. Okay. In case you've just joined, Mindi Miller, Elvis's ex-girlfriend. To me, one of the most beautiful, stunning, and kind girlfriends Elvis ever had. Really, I really mean that. The way she speaks of Elvis is beautiful. Right. So let's have a look. Elaine spots that Mindi is reading our conversation. So because I see Elaine say hello, I'm like, Mindi's joined us, which obviously pleases me, pleases Team Elvis. Anything that makes you guys happy makes me happy. We are very proud of our channel, Defending Elvis Presley. We're here together as Team Elvis to defend Elvis Presley because fans want the truth. That's why we're here, guys. So this is around 8:42 British time. So Mindi says, hi, Elaine, hope you are well. And she was on her way to do errands. I know, Mindi, I know how busy you are. You're a busy lady. So Elaine says, thank you, lovely. I know you are busy. So then I jump in because I just feel that if one of Elvis's girlfriends is going to go out of her way and take the time to join us, Team Elvis, our small little channel, because we're only a small little channel, aren't we? The least we can do is say hello, welcome her, make her feel welcome. So I just say to her, I bring up the fact I had spoken about Mindi today on our live stream, because I really do think highly of Mindi. So I say, we spoke highly about Mindi on today's live. We love your loyalty, Mindi. Yeah? Which is the truth, guys. She's hearted that. A couple of you have hearted that. And then Mindi puts, the problem for me is that I can talk very early in the morning, meaning texting, or very late at night when most everyone else on the east coast of the United States or in the Europe or England are asleep. So my days are incredibly busy. So the only time I have is super early in the morning or super late at night when most everyone is asleep. Okay. So Mindi thanks us for our comment. Oh my gosh, Louis, thank you so much. I just wish I had more time to communicate with everyone. She's a busy girl. So then Elaine, we are very busy. So then I bring up my research because I did do a load of research about Mindi Miller 2 days ago, and I was going to dedicate a whole show to Mindi, but then we got sidetracked by the burial of Priscilla that had come up, that had raised its head. You guys really wanted to speak about our feelings on whether or not we want Priscilla to be buried next to Elvis, and that has just completely overshadowed everything. All right, we've got EP Edits in New Zealand. Hello, my friend. Hi, Deborah. You did join us then. Deborah, we're chatting about Mindi Miller joining us. So then she says she wishes she had more time. So I mentioned that I've done a lot of research. Elvis will be so proud that you have been so kind to his memory. I truly feel you knew him the best. And I really do mean that. When I've watched different interviews, she knew Elvis really well, like deeply well. They spent some serious quality time together. And she knew a side to Elvis that most people don't know. And I really am interested in Elvis's spiritual side. We all know the story where Elvis felt like he had to burn all his books behind Gracelands, which I think it was in a wishing well, and Priscilla was part of the reason he did that, and the pressure from the Memphis Mafia to burn those books. Does that sound right to you guys? So Mindi Miller comes along and embraces the spiritual side of Elvis, the religious side of Elvis, the fact that he loved so many different books. They have that in common. I think they have a bit of a horse riding past, and I think many of the things that they did, they had in common. So they really did hit it off, guys. So then Natalie says, you have always been one of our favorites. Natalie, are you on? I'm not sure if Natalie's on. Natalie, are you there? I will be doing a live stream soon and dedicate it to how great you have been to Elvis's memory. That's me, obviously. And then Mindi says, well, you know, there are those like Shirley Diu that have spread horrendous lies, which Ginger Alden picked up on, and now she says the same. This is why I did my 2-hour podcast for Shauna Fleming on her Tenderly Loving Elvis podcast to clear the truth out about Shirley and what she has done to me and so many people. And guys, I understand many of you are very upset with Shirley Diu, and wasn't she at Elvis Week? And many of you feel that she shouldn't have been there. Hi, Natalie. So I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know much about Shirley Diu. So if any of you want to put any comments down now about Shirley, go ahead, because she's someone I have to research. So even even Mindi, I'm not sure. When it comes to Shirley Dio, I need to look that up. I'm sorry, I feel a bit ignorant that I haven't done that bit of research. I'm gonna. So Philomena jumps in and says hello. I think, right, so Mindi says, oh yeah, I do mention to her that Larry was great, that I had once spoken to Larry. I have always admired the fact that Larry was able to get through to Elvis with his spiritual teachings, and he would listen to Elvis and his religious beliefs, because Elvis believed in many religions, even though he was obviously a practicing Christian, loved the Bible, but he had an open mind on religion. And I think he would wear different necklaces that covered the different religions. Yeah. And why put all your eggs in one basket attitude that he had to religion. Yeah. So Mindi says she makes fun of me constantly and said that when I did my spiritual show 2 years ago for Elvis Week at the dojo, that I was doing a seance and charging people ridiculous money to come in, and that I was trying to bring Elvis into the room, etc. Which, of course, none of it is true. But that's how crazy she is. I have been invited to the owners of the dojo to come and do a spiritual show for people and share about his spirituality and the books that we studied and read together. Yet no one says that about Larry Geller, who was the first to talk about the spirituality of Elvis. See how some of these people are. So I get what she's saying. Now, I'm pleased as punch, guys, that she brings up the spirituality side of Elvis. I'm really interested. I don't know if you guys are. We know that Elvis was deeply spiritual. And I'm trying to remember the name of the spiritual teacher that Elvis became very close with. What was her name? Please, someone tell me her name, please. It's a woman, and I think she was in the hills of California. What was her name? Dharma. Elaine, do you know? The Dharma. Marta, is it? Is it Dharma Marta? Someone tell me. And Elvis would go there. It was like his hideaway, his spiritual hideaway. And it was very special to Elvis. Elvis became very, very close and went there regularly. But Elvis did feel that he had to sort of hide away his spiritual beliefs, which is a real shame to me. A real shame. And when Elvis passed away, he still had all these books all around him. Let's just check the comments. Shirley Dew was the one who called Elvis a creep in a letter, and a guy called John Day in Memphis who has the Elvis Presley beard pawn shop where he sells memorabilia has the letter in safekeeping. Okay, I don't know about that, but I'm going to try and find out. Shirley Dew also said that she hates all Elvis fans in a convo that got leaked. She was talking to her book publisher. Right, I didn't know that. Wow, Elaine, I did not know that about Shirley Dew. Poor Elvis, surrounded by such charlatans. I think he was. So, in case you're joining us now, Mindi Miller joined us tonight, guys. We're chuffed. Mindi Miller joined Team Elvis and had a chat with us. How good is that? How good is that? So, Louis, everything is working out just the way it's supposed to. Us figuring it all out. And I think your YouTube channel is going to work out beautifully. Thank you. That's Ashley, yeah? Thanks, Ashley. We're learning as we go. That's how I see it. We're learning as we go. Helen, how many of us uplifted by watching Elvis films and listening to his music? Elvis was such a healer and a gift from God. What beautiful words, Helen. Thank you. And true. So, yeah, Mrs. G is thanking Mindi in case she's watching. I mean, she's so busy. She said she's busy. So, come on, Mindi. You know, if you're watching, we love you. We love you. And we're going to embarrass you and play some of your videos in a minute. Right. So, right, okay. The kids are getting a bit noisy, guys. Can you hear them? Right. I think that's, oh no, there's a bit more. I never met, right, so somebody asks, let's have a look. Somebody asks about Dee Stanley. I think it was Natalie. I never met Dee Stanley, but I only saw her interviews, which I know were not accepted by the fans very well and by the guys in the Memphis Mafia. Yeah, and we saw Joe Esposito in that famous, is it Geraldo, whatever they call him, interview. And Joe, in fairness to Joe Esposito, he stood up for Elvis. He really did. Yeah, which I'm pleased that he did that because he gets a bit of bad press as well, doesn't he? Yes, it's the Geraldo Rivera. Is that it? That's from Natalie. Yes, I did see it on Geraldo's show a very long time ago. I mean, it is a very, very old interview. Then Melissa jumps in. Shirley needs meds. It's all about the alliances that were made after Elvis passed, but the true facts are out there. So then we've got, I thought that she said about Elvis and his mother was disgraceful. Yeah, I've done a live stream on that way before Shauna did hers. And I tell you what, guys, it's disgusting what that woman said. It's unbelievable. Right, so Mindy says, very true. I knew the woman for 40 years and you cannot believe the history. Well, that's interesting, Mindy. Right, Elaine says, did you see Ginger at all? She's been through it like you have. Ginger is speaking out more about it now. And we know that Ginger Alden has quite a good Facebook page and she is interacting with the fans. And Elaine has been speaking to Ginger and she's been gracefully replying. So I quickly mentioned Sadhguru. He's a spiritual person that I always looked to. I felt helped me through a bad patch. And his name is Sadhguru, Sadguru. So if you're into spiritual stuff, guys, Sadhguru, look him up. So then Natalie says Ginger Alden's husband passed away in 2018, and she was very quiet through the marriage, wasn't she, with her husband? And it's only really now, because after he passed, she started to put herself out there. So Ginger and I are not friends, and she doesn't think much of me for certain reasons, and she has continued to tell the lies that were put out there by Shirley, which are not true. Again, I need to research this. I'd like to understand exactly what has gone on with Ginger and Shirley, etc. Elaine says, I never knew that. I've heard, right, okay, she's saying she's heard of Sadhguru, but I'm not familiar. I really hope that Mindy looks up Sadhguru because he is a life-changing spiritual teacher, and he does a lot of healing as well, guys. Anyway, that's for another day, right? And then she says she absolutely will look him up. And then I say, my pleasure. We owe you so much. We repay your kindness to Elvis. We do. We owe her. We love Elvis. We want to show him appreciation to the people that were good to him. There's many. Larry Geller's one, and Mindy Miller is the other. How many people do we have to really thank Elvis because they looked after Elvis properly? How many are there? Come on, guys. I'm asking you now. How many people can we thank for being kind to Elvis? Please put it in the comments. Can't think of that many. How many? Gladys, Lisa Marie, Linda, Ginger. How many people were truly kind? Anita Wood, I think, was. June Junico. Yeah. Who do you think, guys? Billy and Joe? Yep. Great answer, Mrs. G. Ashley. Anne-Marie? Yep. Anne-Marie was beautiful to Elvis. Definitely Anita Wood. 100%. Not that many. If you think about it, Sam Phillips, yeah, from Sun Studio. Not that many. Maybe less than 10 people that were truly kind. and spoke highly of Elvis. Jerry Schilling, what do you think, guys? Charlie Hodge? Yeah? It's a shame, isn't it? This man that the whole world loves, that was so good to the world, changed the world, changed millions of people. And we can only name a handful of people that were truly genuine to Elvis. Mindi Miller is one of them. Yeah? So Mindi talks about the fact that she's going to Germany, to Bad Nauheim, where Elvis served his time in the army for 2 years, to do a big Elvis ETA show after my gig. I will tour of where he lived and served and all that. So I'm very much looking forward to it, and we'll take lots of pictures. I'd love to go. Wow, I'd love to go to Bad Nauheim, yeah, and see where Elvis treaded, where he lived, where he hung out. We've seen all those great pictures, haven't we, of him way back 1959, chilling out, hanging out in uniform, looking amazing. So, yeah, so I did ask her if she knows Todd Slaughter, because I'm going to make him our next topic tomorrow morning, I think. I don't think we're going to have enough time because this is taking longer, but definitely I am doing one on Todd Slaughter. Many of you may not have heard of Todd Slaughter, but to me, that interview there that I've got here is the 1981 interview. I may play a bit of it. He is, to me, the original Elvis defender. The original Elvis defender. Todd Slaughter, a BBC interview in 1981, discusses Elvis's book by Albert Goldman. Albert Goldman. Now, guys, are any of you familiar with Albert Goldman and what he said about Elvis? So I'm just checking your comments, guys. So I want to familiarize you guys with Todd Slaughter. Now, Todd Slaughter was one of the last people to have met Elvis before he passed away. One of the last, if not the last. He did a public photo session, and I think he was given some awards, I think, and Todd Slaughter was like the president of the British, the UK Elvis fan club, and I think that's why they met. But Todd Slaughter, from what I can see, when I've watched quite a few different interviews over the years, over the decades, I'm not even sure if he's still alive. That sounds a bit disrespectful. He may still be alive or very old now. I should know this, but I don't. He has always been very loyal, from what I can see, to Elvis. And when you see different interviews, he will stand up for Elvis. I know that he was quite good friends with Colonel Tom Parker. I've seen a few interviews there. So that is a bit wishy-washy, but he does seem like he was very loyal. Let's have a look. Hi, Team Elvis. I think we're just having a little boast that Mindi Miller joined, Elvis's ex-girlfriend, joined us tonight. So we are chuffed. We are Team Elvis. We're happy. So Team Elvis. So did you catch it, Team Elvis? Let's have a look. So Helen, me too. I am 52 and still learning. Guys, we're all learning, aren't we? Every day we learn something new. It's crazy. Let's have a look. Let me just go back on some of these comments. Let's have a look. Yeah, Elaine really does know her stuff, doesn't she, Helen? Rhonda Davis, Kathy Westmoreland has good things to say about Elvis. And I have done a few bits with Kathy. So I need to do more research about Kathy. It's crazy and despicable Shirley was invited to Elvis Week and Billy and Joe wasn't. I agree. Completely on your side, guys. Billy and Joe should be getting invited to things. It's crazy how they've been outed. So unfair and makes no sense. Joe Weishankar, if you're watching our program, Jack Sodden, if you're watching our program, come on. Why is Billy and Joe being left out of things? They were out so close to Elvis. Do the right thing. Joe Weishankar, owner of Elvis Presley Enterprises, do the right thing. Invite Billy and Joe. Come on. They deserve it. The fans want it. Now that'll get you some gold stars, Joel. Joel, I know that you want the fans to be happy with you. Right. All right, so Jane was in Todd Slaughter's fan club. I want Kathy Westmoreland's book now. It's £300 or dollars. Todd was not intimidated by Parker. He would get Parker to have front row seats for the... Yes, and I've heard, and I even read that Todd had an agreement with Colonel Tom Parker, and he would allow Todd to bring the British fans over from the UK and do a tour of Gracelands. So Todd was in the original Graceland tours, and I think it was 1976 or something. So it was or 7. So Todd and Colonel Tom Parker were doing the original Graceland tours. So when Priscilla tries to take praise and credit for creating a living museum and starting it all off, nah, Todd Slaughter and Colonel Tom Parker with Vernon were doing it anyway, years before. So there we go. I like Kathy, but I feel in my gut instinct that she might have over-exaggerated her relationship with Elvis. But the common, I guess, I mean, the bit I read is that it was more of a friendship, yeah, than a relationship. A good friendship. Right, so it's getting late, so I want to just try and play some Mindi stuff. I don't know what I'm going to play, guys. I'm literally going to just go to Instagram and just, I don't know what it's going to say. Yeah? And we're just going to have a little look around, see what comes up. Hopefully she's going to be talking about Elvis. This is Instagram. Okay, I better click follow on that. We're following you. Right. Let me turn it up.
Miller here from sunny Southern California. Hi, Elvis fans. It's Mindy Miller here from sunny Southern California, and I want to tell you how excited I am to be coming and to be a part of Stephen Pittman's annual Elvis Weekend, October 11th and 12th, taking place in Bad Nauheim, Germany for the first time. This is so exciting. We're going to be sharing the stage with some wonderful ETAs from all over the world, and in the weeks to come, you'll be hearing more about my show, and I want to invite each and every one of you, and I can't wait to meet you, talk with you, share some wonderful times and stories with you about Mr. Elvis Presley, the greatest entertainer that ever lived. So until then, taking care of business with tender, loving care. God bless, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.
And look at that, guys, and how privileged are we that she's messaged us personally on our Team Elvis Facebook Messenger channel. Right, let's see if we let's just flick through and see what happens. Hang on, let's have a look. Come on, let's have we want some words. We want a proper video. Let's have a look. And I like that song. It's Blue Hotel, isn't it? Blue Hotel, I love it. Come on, let's keep going. Got some great pictures of Elvis. Look how great Elvis looks in that. He looks like a teenager. Bit of a heartthrob. Right, come on. We want a video. Let's have what we'd like to see is a video footage. Right, let me try. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to TikTok.
In Las Vegas. Tour and do these things. And Natalie Wood, I mean, I can go down the list. And they weren't considered girlfriends. They were dates, but they weren't considered girlfriends. If you were considered a girlfriend, and he told the guys in the group, this is my girlfriend, or one of my girlfriends, or a girlfriend, they came to you and sat you down and said, okay, you're going to be with E. This is what's going on. And I was sat down by them and told, these are things that you're going to see, and these are things that may happen. And you need to watch them. And I said, okay. And they said, he takes sleeping meds at night. And if any normal person that takes a sleeping pill is going to be groggy, you get up, you kind of flounder to the bathroom, you're not quite sure. So if he slept, I slept. If he got up, I got up. If he wanted to get up and read in the middle of the night, we read. If he wanted to watch TV, we watched TV. I didn't roll over and go to sleep. If he went to the bathroom, I stood at the door. And I was told that after 10 minutes, if he's not out, knock on the door and say, Eve, you okay? Everything good? Yeah. You gonna take a shower? Maybe. I don't know. Great. This for me was a joy. I loved it. To be able to be with him and take care of him and nurture him and love him and be with him was an absolute... Sorry, I'm welling up. With an absolute joy for me. It wasn't a job. It wasn't something distasteful. It was a joy, and I loved him. And I loved him unconditionally, no matter what. And I would have never left his side, loving a man unconditionally. That's my pledge to him, And I had promised him that I would never, ever write a book. Although I will say that a lot of his fan base has come to me now on Facebook and said, please write a book. We want to read. We want to know more about him. And, everybody has written a book, from the maids to the nurses to everyone. And I had promised him I would never write a book and I would never discuss our relationship. He didn't like that. He didn't want anyone to be talking about private moments and private things. And he would turn in his grave, Karina, if he read some of these books. By all different people. I won't name names, but he would be turning in his grave. He would not be happy about it. If I did write a book, tour and do these things, Natalie would. I mean, I can go down the list.
You see,
and they pause that a minute.
See, come on, guys. What is wrong in that? What is wrong in that? Every word she says, I love it. That's genuine, from the heart. Even tearful, even welling up, crying. 47 years later, she's tearful about the man that she once loved. The man in 1975, I think it was, that she feels special that she was able to witness Elvis's life at that time. Now, let's face it, guys. Elvis had serious insomnia. So he definitely took sleep medication. We know this. He needed sedatives to relax. We know this. But she just loved being part of his life. She still misses him. I can tell. She still misses him. Beautiful.
They were staring out the window. You see pictures of him just staring out the window like this. Right? A very normal picture for him. And a lot of people on Facebook, his fans will message me on Facebook, or they'll ask me a question and they'll say, what was he always staring out the window? Anyway, one time I asked him, I said, honey, you're always staring out the window. I go, what are you thinking? Are you able to share anything with me? And he would stare like this. He would look back at me like that. He would say, you really want to know? And I'd say, yeah, I really want to know. What are you thinking? And he said, and he'd point his finger and he'd touch the window pane and he'd say, I can't believe they all came to see me. He said, can you believe that? And I would look at him, I go, of course they came to see you. He said, oh no. He says, but look at all the buses, the tourist buses, and all the cars and the taxis, and all the people walking. You see, I can't believe they all came to see me, my show. He could not get over the fact that he had become this incredible entertainer. This country poor boy.
Love it. Love it. Guys, come on. Do you see what I'm saying? Mindy Miller. That's how she speaks about Elvis. That is how you speak about Elvis Presley. A lot of people could learn from that lady how to speak about Elvis. Male and female. Employees and ex-girlfriends and Memphis Mafia. My dog's barking in the garden, which is quite irritating. But you get what I'm saying, guys. Genuine, from the heart, true love, trustworthy, loyal. She knew the real Elvis. She knew him. She knew his heart, his soul. She understood his spiritual side, his religious side. She would read with him. She would sing with him. I listened to one of her interviews. They would sing together in bed. Guys, this is a genuine person. This is what we want. This is why we're defending Elvis Presley. And guys, Mindy Miller joined us tonight on Team Elvis. Mindy Miller joined us, chatted with us like we were her mates on our Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. We have all spoken to Mindy Miller. Come on, isn't that good? Come on, guys. That's about as close as we're going to get to Elvis. Don't you think, guys? Her chatting with us, Team Elvis, defending Elvis Presley. Now, isn't it great? She has decided to join the Defending Elvis Presley channel. Yeah? You think about it, guys. Why would Mindy Miller join the Defending Elvis Presley? I know why. It's the same reason that you guys have. The name, Defending Elvis Presley. Ooh, what's that? That's a good name. Defending Elvis Presley? Why is it called Defending Elvis Presley? Because they're defending him. I want to be part of that. I buy into that. Mindy Miller wants to defend Elvis. She wants to be proud of him. She wants to make him proud. And I'm telling you now, guys, I've never met Elvis, but he would be proud of Mindy Miller. He would be proud of Mindy Miller, who has spent over 40 years praising Elvis. That special connection they had, that friendship they had, way back around 1975. 47 years later, she is still praising him and boasting how she's going to go to Germany, where he served his time in the military. She's going to walk around Germany and honor him, visit his home, walk the streets that he walked. Now that is a friend. So when we discussed the Memphis Mafia book, Mindy Miller didn't write a book, call him a junkie. Mindy Miller has been loyal to Elvis. Now, if she did write a book, we wouldn't mind. We wouldn't mind if Mindy Miller wrote a book. Do you know why we wouldn't mind? Even if she made a fortune, even if she made $1 million writing that book, we don't care, because she didn't betray him. They parted on good terms. She's never bad-mouthed him. She's never put him down, belittled him, made him feel stupid, embarrassed him. She's never done it. That is a true friend. And this is why when we bring up the book, the Memphis Mafia tell-all book, this is why, even though these people were good to him and good friends to Elvis, they did betray him. They should not have written the book. They should not. Even if we got 1,000 good things to say about them, even if Elvis sacked them at short notice, which we don't even know if that's completely true, they shouldn't have written that book. Mindy Miller did. Now, the Memphis Mafia could learn a lot from Mindy Miller. She was loyal to the end, and still is. 47 years later, she hasn't spent 47 years bad-mouthing Elvis. The Memphis Mafia, some of them have been on and off saying negative things for decades. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not Charlie Hodge, not Billy Smith, Larry Geller, definitely not. Larry Geller was good. Jerry Schilling said certain things that I think he shouldn't have said. Lamar Fike, certain things he shouldn't have said. Yeah? There's a few that just crossed the line. Sonny West, Red West, Dave Hebler said things they shouldn't really have said. So the reason I bring all that up is to show the difference between loyalty, real loyalty, and betrayal. Mindy Miller has been completely loyal, completely, 100%. Right, let's show a bit more Mindy Miller. Guys, I'm so grateful that she joined us.
It's Mindy Miller here from sunny Southern California, and I want to tell you how excited I am to be coming and to be a part of Stephen Pittman's annual Elvis weekend, October 11th and 12th, taking place in Bad Nauheim, Germany for the first time. This is so exciting. We're going to be sharing the stage with some wonderful ETAs from all over the world, and in the weeks to come, you'll be hearing more about my show, and I want to invite each and every one of you, and I can't wait to meet you, talk with you, share some wonderful times and stories with you about Mr. Elvis Presley, the greatest entertainer that ever lived. So, until then, taking care of business with tender, loving care. God bless, and I'll see you all soon.
Love it. So a different take on the same thing, but guys, we could go to that. That's not even, for me, going to Germany, it's just a train ride. It's not even far. I could go. I actually could go to that. I'd actually quite like to go. Seriously, I'm not joking. I'd like to go to that. I'm going to look it up. It's only Germany. It's not even far. Right, let's see if we can find any more Mindy Miller stuff. There isn't loads. Let's go onto YouTube, see what we can find on there. Let's see what comes up. Now remember, we're doing this as we go. I don't really know what's going to come up. I only want to get short clips. We don't really have time for it. Let's have a look. Right, here we go. Let's listen to this. Let's turn it up a minute.
And he would go to a corner and pray. Be nervous before he went on stage. And he would go to a corner and pray, sometimes by himself. Sometimes he would get the Sweet Inspirations or JD, Sumner and the guys, and they would have a little prayer session before he'd go on stage. And he would pray to God to not forget the lyrics. Sometimes he went on stage with a piece of paper with lyrics. So when he got through the first song, he was okay to go, and he would drop the paper on the stage floor, but he would be nervous always. And he said, the day I'm not nervous to go on stage is the day it's over. Be nervous before he went on stage. And he would
I like
go to
it.
a corner and
Well, that deserves a subscribe. That's Elvis Presley World. Right, let's have a look, see what else. Right, let's see what, I don't know what this is. Let's have a look.
we were in the bedroom in the play, and we were studying and we were reading. And what I think is so fascinating about he's carrying the books. He's carrying one of his Bibles, one of his many Bibles, and some of the spiritual books that we had just been studying and reading. And so this picture for me personally means a lot to me, because we had literally just come out of the bedroom, and to have him holding these books and coming down the stairway, the plank, for me, it's just so special, so special.
Brilliant.
We were in the bedroom.
Love it.
In the plank.
Yeah, I love the inside information that she's giving us. Let's just keep going, guys.
He sat and he played that piano, and Charlie Hodge was standing over him. I know it was all Charlie could do not to cry, because of, obviously, the condition that he was in.
Well, I don't really want to play that because it upsets people. But even though I love it, I don't want to start making you guys cry. Honestly, if I play that, you will cry. Let's have a look. There isn't a lot of Mindy Miller stuff. Let's have a look. Right, here we go.
I was actually out. I was in Los Angeles. I was driving the car that he gave me in 1976. I finally passed 2 years later. And we were in Las Vegas, and he bought me this beautiful 455 4-speed Hurst clutch Trans Am, all white, which is my favorite color. I always wear white if I can. Elvis, loved white. Most of his jumpsuits were white. I was driving around the city. I didn't hear anything on the radio. I didn't have the radio on. And I got home, and I was walking in the door, and the phone was ringing. So I picked up the phone, I said hello, and the person on the other end of the phone just said one word. And I said, Mindi. And this person was in an in-about way affiliated with the Elvis community. And I knew exactly what they wanted to say. And I didn't say one word. I just said, he's gone, isn't he? He's gone. And the voice on the other end of the phone said yes. And I just dropped the phone, and I fell on my living room floor.
Hi, Linda. Now that she's obviously discussing the day that Elvis passed. Obviously we couldn't hear it very well, guys. But this is an interesting one. I don't know. Do you want to hear it, guys? It's Mindy Miller talking to Dave Hebler. Does anyone want me to play it? Mindy Miller talking to Dave Hebler. Okay.
In his 68 comeback special, that's Elvis Presley's 68 comeback special. She's also been on Star Trek and some fabulous, fabulous films. I know you love her, but I am standing with somebody that I have long admired for many, many different reasons. And when I was told that he would be here this weekend, I was beyond thrilled. We are standing with none other than Mr. Dave Hebler. Dave Hebler, I am so thrilled to see you, and I have not seen this gentleman since Elvis's funeral. And before that, and he has got some fabulous stories that he's going to be telling, sharing with the audience at 11 a.m. on Sunday here at theelvisfest.com, along with myself, sharing stories about Elvis, our time with him, funny things that happened, different kind of stories. And I want to say to you, you look amazing, and you've got all these schools all over the country. And when I saw him, I just hugged him so tightly. It's been 40 years, and I can't believe it, and you look amazing. What have you been doing in a bird's eye view in the last 40 years since I have not seen you?
Oh my goodness. I have been like all over doing everything on the face of the earth. There was actually a time when I was homeless, to be perfectly honest with you. Ended up in Thailand working on a Kung Fu movie.
Good for you. That's a good place to do Kung Fu.
Yeah, I was going to retire there.
I have a lot of friends that have retired there.
Yeah.
In Bali, especially.
But the negatives were so big, I just couldn't do it. So I came back and I lived in one of my students' driveway for 6 months.
Aww.
Yeah, he had this old motorhome. It didn't have any air conditioning or any heating or anything in there, but I could use his house. He had a little small house.
Yeah.
Use his restroom and shower up and everything.
Yeah.
He would do that. So, that worked out fine. And then.
But you have schools all over the country now.
Yeah, I don't own them.
Right.
I have an association and they're member schools.
And you're teaching.
I teach. I have my own school.
Right.
As
tell the audience, because we have a big audience.
Yeah, this is our school.
Wow. Can you read that? Perfect.
Yeah.
And tell the people what form of karate you do.
Kempo.
Kempo. What is the difference? I used to do Shotokan. Mm-hmm. Tell the people what the difference is between Shotokan and Kempo.
There are a couple of main differences. In the early days, when I first started with Ed Parker, we looked just like Shotokan. Mm-hmm. I mean, exactly like it with the low horse stances, like really wide, real power moves, right. And we did all that. We looked just like them.
Yeah.
And then over a short period of time, from 59 to like 65, something like that, Ed started introducing Chinese influences into what it is that we're doing. And basically what he wanted to do was Americanize Kempo. Do you think he was, should we say, the founding father to introduce it here for the first time in this country? Oh yeah, he was. Because maybe a lot of people. He wasn't the first guy. There was other guys who were here before him, but Ed made a really big splash. He did a couple of things that were like really, really smart. Mm-hmm. He started the International Karate Championships. And it really, truly was international. I mean, we would have 5,000 competitors. Wow. You know, it was huge. Went on for years. And he introduced
right. So,
to...
Right, we're coming to the end now, guys. I don't really want to play all of that because I wanted to get this last video in of Todd Slaughter. I'm just going to play this video. It's more of a warm-up for what I've got in mind for tomorrow, because tomorrow I want to go into Todd Slaughter's, because I think he was the original defending Elvis person. And I admire Todd Slaughter, and my aspirations as the person who runs this channel with Team Elvis is to maybe defend Elvis in the same way as Todd Slaughter does. And when you listen to this interview, it's 1981. And I'll tell you what I like about Todd Slaughter's interview. No matter what question he is asked, he stands his ground. He stands his ground. He sticks with his beliefs. You have a listen. And I like to feel that I'm like that. When I'm talking to you guys, when people are questioning me, when different topics are being brought up, I stand by what I say. I don't waver. I'm like, I have my views, I've done my research, and I'm trying to defend Elvis. And unless someone has really got a point, it's quite difficult to make me change my mind, even though originally you guys did change my mind, because that's why we created Defending Elvis Presley, because I was a different kind of fan. And bit by bit, you guys made me change my mind. So I will change my mind. But let's have a listen to this interview of Todd Slaughter, a very famous Elvis defender from the 80s. Could still be around today. I don't know if he's still alive. Yeah? So I saved it. Now, tomorrow I'm going to do a proper live stream on Todd Slaughter. I think he deserves it because he was such a good Elvis defender. I'm not saying that I agree with all of Todd Slaughter's views, because I know he was best friends with Colonel Tom Parker, so that worries me. So let's just hear it out. I'll probably lose it now. Elaine, Elvis loved Todd Slaughter. He knew him for years as he brought the British fans over to his concerts, and Elvis presented him by way of a trophy. Yes, he's still alive. Right, he is still alive. Right, okay, good. I should know, but now I do. Right, let's listen now. This is for tomorrow. Then I'm going to have to say farewell, guys.
Boycotted is a very extreme measure.
Well, it's not extreme if you remember that, as far as I can see, the book is half true. Goldman himself said in a recent interview that if Elvis Presley was alive, he wouldn't be able to write the book. And the reason he wouldn't be able to write the book was because of the laws of libel.
What effect has the book had so far on the fans who've either read it or read extracts from it?
A lot have been very, very distressed. One or two, surprisingly enough, have said they're going to sell the collection and pack it in. But in the main, it is fair to say that it's given a lot of resolution to the fans. They're going to fight it.
But it has destroyed the Elvis image for some of them.
For one or two, but it's not destroyed the image as far as everyone else realises it. I think the book is very, very unfair because it has a go at the music industry and the fans as well as Elvis Presley. Goldman obviously is not interested in rock music.
In what ways do you think it's unfair to Elvis Presley himself?
Well, he's not around to defend himself. Some of the facts that Goldman state that he's revealing for the first time have been well-tried legends. It's not very factual, and the interpretation with regard to the drugs is very, very far-fetched.
Well, let's look at that. I mean, the fact is, Presley did take enormous quantities of drugs, and drugs probably killed him. Now, that's true, and why shouldn't it be said?
Well, what's been forgotten is the fact that in the last few years of Elvis Presley's life, he was very, very ill. And he'd been ill for about 7 years. But of course, he did still entertain. Goldman says that he loathed to entertain, but each year Elvis Presley was performing an incredible amount of tours.
But he was a lonely man, wasn't he?
I'm sure he was. He was lonely because he had to be. You see, Elvis was one of the first stars of his kind, and consequently, no one else had had any experience whatsoever of handling such a situation, and the easiest thing to do was to surround himself by so-called friends to protect himself.
You see, in calling for the book to be banned, I just wonder whether you're taking the whole thing too seriously, because although it may do something to diminish his personal reputation, it will do nothing to diminish the impact that his music made.
Of course it won't. In fact, I mean, a call to ban the book is going out to the fans. We don't want the fans to be hoodwinked into buying it. No one is going to stop the publisher from selling the book. But we feel, and most of the fans feel, that it isn't fair to have a publication that's really only bringing out the same old stories over and over again, none of which have really been proved.
But don't you think one of the problems is that fan clubs such as your own tend to put people like Presley on pedestals from which they are almost bound to be knocked off?
Well, that could be said, but we have a fan club for Elvis Presley because we like him. There were fan clubs for John Lennon, who sadly is now going through the mill again, because they liked him. And sad that it seems, come Sunday, no newspaper is going to say that Natalie Wood fell off a boat. It's going to be glamorized much more than that.
What do you say finally to Goldman's conclusion that Elvis Presley was overrated? He was very good to begin with, but then he abused his talent and his career went down.
I don't agree with that at all. Elvis Presley sold the equivalent of 1 billion records. That's one record for every fourth person on this earth. And if you remember, 1 in 3 is Chinese. In other words, virtually everybody's got an Elvis record. If he wasn't that good, people would not have bought them.
Mr. Staunton, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The sad story of the last days of Elvis Presley.
I love that. I love that whole interview from beginning to end. Like I said at the beginning of it, he doesn't waver. He stands his ground. He defends Elvis on every question. Every question. And the interviewer is probing. Did he do this? Did he do that? Do you think this? Do you think that? What about this? What about that? He never wavers. I'll be the same. Elvis deserves defending. Even that man, Todd says Elvis can't defend himself. He's not here to defend himself. He says it more than once. Come on, guys. That's what I call a brilliant interview, defending Elvis. I'm proud to be anything like that man. So, Todd, if you're ever watching our show, tomorrow we are going to dedicate a whole live stream to you. We're going to go over some different interviews that you've done over the decades. You're still going strong by the sounds of it, my friend. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to do an interview with you. So thanks, guys. We're out of here. I'm going to have to say goodbye. It's late. The kids want me. We've done 1 hour and 10 minutes, more or less. It's been great. I wasn't even going to do a live tonight. Now, Mindi, thank you so much. If you watch this show, thank you so much. I'm going to name this video after you, Mindi, on the live stream. So if you want to look up Mindi Miller Talks to Team Elvis. Mindi Miller Talks to Team Elvis is going to be the name of this live stream, guys. All the best. Love to all of you. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had a good live, haven't we? We've had some fun. It's been really interesting. Thanks, guys. So thanks to all of you. I got to shoot off because my wife wants me upstairs. You take care, guys. Peace out. Sending you all love. Thanks very much. You take care, every one of you. Love you all.